What's good, guys? Mookie here, back with another video. I got Kristin in the house. So I'm going to be starting a new series where I find local fitness professionals, people in the industry living that lifestyle, and I want to just pick their brain, kind of get some questions, ask them some questions and get their opinion on the best way to live a healthy lifestyle, sustain a healthy lifestyle, to achieve different goals in health and fitness and overall wellness. So today, Kristin's going to be giving us 3 tips on just her overall tips on health and wellness. So, Kristin, what's tip number 1?
So, let's back up just a hair. So, these are going to be 3 tips for people that are really getting started in health and wellness, right?
Yes.
Fitness. So, tip number 1, create a positive relationship with movement. So, and what I mean by that is, we live in a culture right now where our narrative is movement is hard, movement is a burden, right? It's this thing that you do it because it's a reactive thing to do. It's not something that you wake up and you choose to do because you want to do it. And it's really important that anything you do in your life, right? You want to look forward to doing that activity. I know it doesn't always happen that way, but nonetheless, your self-talk about what you're doing is super important. So when it comes to implementing a new lifestyle with health and wellness, you really have to create the mindset around it. It's something that you want to do and that you get to do it. So, Mookie, can you explain a little bit about how you implement that?
So, like, for me, I think I always struggled with having like a positive mindset with food. I have it towards fitness. I love working out. I love pushing myself in the gym. But when it came to having a positive relationship with healthy foods and understanding moderation and balance with my diet, I struggled with that aspect. And I looked at it as a burden, and it would create this like negative reinforcement in my head that like, this is a bad thing that I'm doing, or this isn't, like, I'm going to suffer while doing this, rather than looking at it as like, no, this is just something else that I have to do, and I'm going to I'm going to look at it from a positive mind frame rather than trying to look at it negatively. And that's something I'm working on right now. And it's a big thing that with nutrition and things, I think you have to look at it as like positive rather than always being so negative towards it.
Absolutely. Adherence is everything, right? So creating a positive relationship with these aspects allows you to be able to do these things long term, right? Nobody wants to do something that they don't want to do or that they don't look forward to doing for a lifetime. So one of the things I like to say is, like, this is one of my best analogies. When you're sitting outside the gym, right? You need to go inside and work out, but you've had a long day and you're sitting out in your car and you're like, man, I really don't want to do this. Take a second and think to yourself, as much as I don't want to do this right now, I do want to do this. I'm going to literally change the words that you're telling yourself in order to start to reinforce that these are things that you want to do, that you get to do, that you should be doing. We need to change the narrative from day one that movement's not a burden. Eating healthy is not a burden. Eating healthy is actually a great thing. These foods can taste good. Getting my heart rate up in the gym and being uncomfortable is good.
So, Kristin, for someone like myself or someone even earlier on in their fitness journey, what is like something that you would recommend them to do to help shift that mindset? Or if you even have a couple things that they can do to help shift that mindset?
Honestly, self-talk. So you can write it down, but more importantly, the narrative that you start having in your head, the dialogue that you start creating around the things that you're implementing around your new healthy lifestyle. When you find yourself starting to speak to yourself in a way that makes it negative, right? Like, oh man, I'm gonna eat this, but I really wanna eat this. Try to find the positive in it, right? Like when you're sitting outside the gym, remind yourself, like, yes, I'm tired, but I want to go do this. When you're eating a salad over your friends eating burgers and fries, remind yourself that it's full of nutrients and you're gonna feel better after eating that than the burger and fries. Change your narrative and do that with self-talk.
I love it, guys, and that's something that I'm definitely gonna start implementing more of. I know for me, before I go to the gym, I hype myself up, that I'm going to kill it in the gym today, I'm going to push it to the next level, and I do. And that's what I need to start implementing, like I said, with my nutrition. So all right, guys, we're going to be going over tip number 2, so Kristin, take it away.
Tip number 2, start with realistic habits. What do I mean by that? Oftentimes when we get started in health and wellness or in fitness, we have these billionaire goals, right? We want to go from 0 to 100 really quickly. But it's really important when you're first getting started to remember that in order to be the billionaire, you've got to start with 6 figures and you got to be a millionaire, and then you get to being a billionaire. So when you're establishing your routines, the things that you ultimately want to be consistent in, they have to be realistic to your daily life. If you're trying to incorporate more movement, right? We should all be moving. If you have kids and you work a 9 to 5 and you take care of your mother, it's not realistic for you to be in the gym twice a day 5 days a week. So start with walking 5 minutes a day, 3 times a week. Start with eating a salad a day instead of driving through the drive-thru once a day instead of eating 3 meals of fast food. Little tiny habits that you can use over time that will add up to big results.
Yeah, definitely. And I think to parlay off of that and how it associates with me is that I think sometimes I would set too big of goals that I would either not fulfill, not see out to see the end of it, you know, rather than like taking the little wins along the process and enjoying those little wins, and and those little wins are just habits that I'm creating daily, whether it be something as simple as like making your bed in the morning before you leave, right?
Yeah,
or like Kristin was saying, just going on a walk. You don't have to set these unrealistic goals with your fitness journey, and especially when you're someone who's like 300, 400, 500 pounds, right? It's going to be hard for you to be like, I'm going to go to the gym 6, 7 times, do 500 burpees, do something that's not going to be conducive to long-term success. So if you want to have that long-term success, focus on the goals and the wins on the short term. And this is something, again, guys, I'm really shifting my mindset again with this, and I'm really focusing on like, okay, I'm in this isn't something I'm doing for the short term, right? These are things I want to do for the rest of my life, and in order to get to that, I would say, like, in order to become David Goggins or to be someone who you really aspire to be like, and you really love their mindset and the way that they operate, they didn't get there overnight. Like, if you know his story, he was drinking milkshakes, struggling, and then eventually through like discipline, hard work, going into the gym, pushing himself with nutrition, he was able to reach that point, right? And continues to build his mindset and be that person. So,
but the key to that too, and we'll get into this in a second, is checking the boxes and feeling like you're being progressive or successful, right? The more progressive you feel, the more successful you feel, the more likely you're going to be to continue something. So in the beginning, it's really, really, really important that you establish habits or daily things that you can do that you can actually check the box so that you feel progressive in order to get to that landmark.
100%. I love that. And I think I was just actually going to ask Kristin, what's like an actionable step somebody who is a beginner or just starting off like in their fitness journey that they can take to help kickstart that type of thinking.
Yeah. So evaluate your current habits, right? If your goal is to start a basic journey of health and wellness and you're not moving, you're not doing anything, write a list down of 3 things. And typically my 3 things are get more sleep, drink enough water, and get minimal amounts of movement in every day. But write down 3 very specific goals in those areas, put them on paper, and every single day wake up, do those things, and check the list.
All right, guys, tip number 3, Kristin, go ahead and take it away.
So tip number 3 goes back to tip number 2, which is create an accountability system. Anytime you're starting something new and you're trying to hold yourself to a system, to a new structure, it's really important that you have something to keep you in line, right? So you can pay for training, you can ask a friend, there's a million different ways to create that plan that we just talked about in tip number 2, and then have somebody that you check in with that keeps you accountable to that to make sure that you're making progress in it.
100%, guys, and even for me, I was blessed to have you guys as my accountability system. And when I first started my journey with Kevin, he never told me like put it out on social media or do anything. But I knew that if I was to put it on my social media and everybody around me knew what I was going to do, I was going to get support, and I was going to have to hold myself accountable. And sometimes, I don't want you guys to think that you should fully rely on someone else and have to do that, because it is going to come from within you to get the job done. No one's going to come and, there's going to be days like you're going to have to go on that run with no one pushing you. There's going to be no one telling you. You might even have times where you have negative reinforcement, where people are telling you to do the opposite, like let's go get drinks, let's go party. And like that's those times where you have to stand on your 2 feet and be like, no, this is my goal, this is what I'm going to do. And when I was in that mind frame and I was doing that, I was losing so much weight and I was progressing, and I was really like that. I think that's why somebody who's morbidly obese, like a scale is a good thing, because it is an easy accountability check. It is an easy way to see like, okay, I've lost 20 pounds, I've lost 30 pounds, right? And weight is going to come off when you're bigger. So definitely find something to keep you accountable.
Yeah, metrics of success and accountability are everything, right? So like Mookie, you said the scale. The scale is one way for accountability. Body fat measurements, circumference measurements, pictures. a network of people, a social media page, something that you're actually answering to besides yourself and with yourself that's going to make you remember or help you stay in line with that structure that you've created.
Yeah, guys, so ultimately these were 3 tips that Kristin had thought of, and I want to keep bringing you guys these type of gems to use along in your own journey, and ultimately that's my goal with my YouTube. I want to be able to build a community of people who are struggling with their own fitness goals. It doesn't have to necessarily mean you're super obese and you're trying to lose weight. You know, we all have our own struggles. Every day, everyone battles with different things. So if we can help each other, and there's anything that you can take from this video, even one person, that's all that matters to me. So that's the end of the video, guys. I appreciate all the love and support. Kristin, where can they follow you and find you?
At Kristin Nicole.
Kristin Nicole. Simple, guys. I'm going to put it in the comments. Please go support her. Show her love on her YouTube, Instagram. She's going back to posting content on YouTube. She's one person I could genuinely say has a lot of valuable information to offer. She's been in the industry for a long time. So take advantage of it, pick her brain, send her messages on Instagram. She has training available as well. So if you guys are really serious about your goals and you want to find a trainer in your local in the Orange County area, you guys got Kristin. So appreciate you.